Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Charles here. Just calling with my next video blog. A lot's been going on, so I'll try to pack as much as I can in without trying to bore you guys. So I think the last time I talked to you guys was during the inauguration, maybe just before or just after it. Nonetheless, a lot's been going on. I don't know if one of the things I talked about was how we learn lessons, life lessons. One of the life lessons that I've learned through so far this year is that the characters in certain issues in your life don't change. I'm sorry, the characters may change. I'm a little distracted because these helicopters are really, really low today. But anyway, I've been going through something at work, and for some reason I still keep going through it with different people. But if you really break it down to its basis, it's the same problem. And it has to do with me and how I respond to my superiors when they feel like they can just kind of handle you any type of way. And it's taken me a great while to realize that, I'm responsible for my own actions. That's something I always knew. But I usually would react a certain way because of something that they've done. And but in the end, I would always be the one who is held responsible for them or for my actions when I feel like I got baited, and I probably did, which means I didn't learn the lesson I needed to learn, which ultimately is this, what I truly believe: never miss an opportunity to keep your mouth shut. Now I know that sounds maybe a little funny to you, but it's quite true. It doesn't even mean that I talk too much. It doesn't mean that I talk too little. It just means that I exercise the wrong opportunities to do exactly that. Just never miss an opportunity to keep your mouth shut. Sometimes these people say some of the damnedest things to me, and I think my pride kind of steps in the way and demand them to give me something that they feel I don't deserve. But what I'm learning is that it doesn't matter if I feel like I deserve it or not. I'm in an institution that is gonna do what it's gonna do. It's been this way for 230 some odd years, and it's definitely not gonna change right now, not just for me. And I understand that I'm not the only one person who may feel this way, but we just have to get with its program instead of our own program. Anyway, so that's a lesson that I kind of learned lately. Never miss an opportunity to keep my mouth shut. And I've been exercising that, and I'm sure that it's going to take me better places. Something else that I was dealing with is that God's favor. Someone once asked me, which one is better, or which would I prefer to have, God's favor or a miracle? And I chose God's favor, and here's the reason why. God's favor is said to be more precious than life, because when God's favor is over you, that means that you are in such a position that, wow, that was kind of funny. You're in such a position that He has a plan, and you're a part of that plan. So He is going to make sure that your role in that plan is unobstructed. So in that, no matter what people may do around you, because God has a plan for you specifically, and He has a very specific way of how He wants you to carry out that order, then nothing's going to be able to come against you when it comes to that plan. You might be in jail today, but God says He's got a plan for you. His favor is going to cover you, and if your favor doesn't happen to be a favor in jail, then you're not going to be there long. So whatever that circumstance is, it's going to be temporary. Why? Because God's favor is already predestined that you're going to be somewhere else in the near future. All you have to do is continue to hold out and keep your faith up, and you will be able to get through that issue, because God's favor for your life is more precious. Now, that being said, a lot of people, I don't know if you know it or not, but favor is not something that you can earn. It's not something that you can trade. It's not something that you can buy or sell. It just is what it is. Now, that being said, God's favor being more precious than life, everybody has a measure of favor, just like everyone has a measure of faith. Faith is something that you can increase, and faith is something that can definitely decrease. But God's favor is something that just is what it is, and He will give you favor according to how He is going to use you in your life. So keep that in mind as well. On other news, I'm transitioning or getting ready to transition, quite possibly out of the military. So I've got a few ideas of what's going to happen. Right now it's looking that I'm going to move west, and I want you to keep me in your prayers for that, and we'll work towards God's will being done above everything else. So I need to move now because there's an ambulance behind me. But truly, like I was saying though, I'm sorry, God's favor is definitely more precious than life. So keep that in mind. And lessons, I'm serious. If you're always one of those people, and this works everywhere, a lot of people say, every time I get in a relationship, this kind of happens. Somebody always cheating on me. Somebody always lying to me. Somebody always stealing from me. Somebody's always doing something. There's something that you're not doing. It's not about you being perfect, because nobody's perfect. But seriously, it's something you're doing or something you're not doing. So keep that in mind, when you're out here in your everyday life. If every time you get in a relationship something's messed up, it's probably something you're doing. If every time you're out here in a work environment and you find yourself fired, it's probably something that you're doing or not doing. If every time, if you can't just have if you can't even maintain friendships, it's probably something you're either doing or you're not doing. So I challenge you to keep all of those things in mind when you go through your everyday life and dealing with people. So without further ado, I don't want to keep you too long. Just keep those things in mind until my next posting. And if you have any words of encouragement or anything you'd like to say, add or take away, or even give, a difference of opinion, it's more than welcome. Until next time, you guys, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.